Good afternoon, all. CamelbackTrading.org coming to you this Thursday afternoon, March 24th. We are looking at window traders, market profile, SPY IWMN, triple Qs. And I'll tell you what, if this was the consolidation we said we needed, well, the bulls are back on the move, and we should see the 455, 460 level. Once again, bulls yesterday bears yesterday in the afternoon forced it, trend day down. This morning we opened. Couldn't even get. I I should have held on to. I had a couple of contracts at the low of the day. Should have held on to them. I bought the low of the day. I bought the pullback in G and the pullback in K. So we called the day very well again today. It was a good day. Sellers couldn't muster anything. Once we got above K's high, it turned into a short covering event. We were P-shape a good part of the day. We go unicorn shape when L&M spike out for a price probe. We had a chance for a trend day up. We didn't get it. And we got within 8 cents of our 3-day balance high. Qs. Triple Qs, spectacular day. Triple distribution. D, L singles, and a price probe. So you'll treat tomorrow as 3 separate days in triple Qs. They have nothing above them until around the 367, 370 level. So Russell can really get legs going. Plus, they had an outside week up coming into this week, and today they had an outside week down. Remember, they had an inside day yesterday. They came out of it to the downside for literally seconds. In C period, came back up. Well, look below and fail, especially out of an inside day. What's the ultimate destination? The previous day's high. Got it and came out of that with an inside day up. So spectacular day for the triple Qs. And again, I can still see some nice movement to the upside based on the price vacuum above them. Russell's still mired in this 9-week balance now. It'll be 9 weeks after tomorrow. They need to get above that 209 and change level. Remember, I'll do all those charts tomorrow night to recap the week. As far as us, like I said, we don't hold any trend, but we do go out with a price probe to the upside. We have 8 wide only and an afternoon pullback in G. As far as my singles, like I said, first trade of the day, I said, you know what? Because we opened above the base of the price probe where there were sellers last night, now let's see if there's buyers there. And lo and behold, there was. So 443 calls as we rejected again the price probe and went back up. Everything was a long except one small short, and that's the only trade I lost money on. B period took a long against both attempting to get a one-time framing up and getting above the 200-day moving average. We battled the 200-day moving average for 3 time frames, B, C, and D, until D exploded above it. Never looked back. G got close. It was a beautiful pullback for a long. So I 443 calls in A, 445 calls in B. C period, I actually took a small short against the opening. A very small lot. Got above it. I'm like, I'm going to hold it at small. But what I did do when C couldn't pop B right away, I took a long. Took a 20 call play. Probably wasn't, it was kind of looking for a trade, just like that short was. The short was only 2 contracts, the long was 20. I was immediately getting heat where I bought the 20 as it came in. But I held them. I didn't add. I took the 2 short, the short off for small loss when it came in. I held on to the 20, and when it went up, took them off before we popped the top. And then in D, I was looking to possibly do it again, didn't, and that's when D exploded. So what did I do? Well, I went long in E against single prints with 448 calls. Now, F came down, and I'm like, okay, I don't mind if we fill singles. We didn't fill them yet. Took a small call play. I went back up on 446s. My biggest play and best play was in G when it took out F, filled the singles. At the time, it got right to half back. We raised and pock a bit. I'm like, as long as we don't go down to A's high, I'm happy. I was long about just under 50 calls, 49 calls, and they started going back up and made very well on that. K period, another long, small, 2 lot and a 10 lot, because I thought maybe we do go test G's low, and at that time I would have gotten much bigger because by then the pocket had gotten pretty wide here, and I thought the odds of going back were very good, especially since value is now clearly overlapping to higher all afternoon. But it never got down enough to take another big play, but Did well on the 12. And believe it or not, even M period, I scalped a couple of small 447 calls. So the only trade I lost money on was a 2-lot put play in C. Everything else was long. Everything else I made money. The biggest play was my 50-lot in G, and really nailed the low of the day, G's pullback, and K's pullback. So very, very happy on the day. As far as destinations, upside, 450.50 today's high and 450.58 yesterday's balance high. I gave you a bunch of upside destinations yesterday, so I'm not going to give any more. For the downside, price probe, L's high, 449.82. Then, although I'm not going to discount 8Y tomorrow, if we get there, I'm not going to carry it forward after tomorrow. G's low was the next visual level, 446.81, which is our afternoon pullback. And then today's low, 447.76. And yesterday's low of 443.71. And then on the charts, I'm just going to show you the daily. Right now, the monthly is down to balance. The weekly is up. Look at the daily. Now, not including today, I was using Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday as my balance because I said we got pretty good into Monday yesterday. But since today did what it did, I will now use Wednesday's low. So it's only a 3-day balance for me. So this is going to be very important tomorrow. Right? This is the second day out of 3 that we closed above the 200. This time by $4. So that's very impressive. What are we going to do with the balance high? If we get acceptance above the balance high, all these highs are going to fall. There's like 4 or 5 of them pretty close together. So again, between 455, 460, I think we easily get if we get acceptance above here. And then we stop and take another look where we think we can go. The next weekly high that we're really shooting for, well, that's part of those highs I'm talking about, 458.12. And 450, so again, there's a bunch of weekly highs that I think could very much be taken out on this next move up to 460. What don't we want to see? Well, we certainly don't want to see Wednesday's low taken out because then you'd be coming out of a 3-day balance to the downside and be below the 200. But the way we closed and the way the Q's closed tells me that the bulls might get another pretty good push to the upside between tomorrow and early next week. Thanks for the likes and subscribe and enjoy your evening. And we'll speak prior to the opening tomorrow.